Hi, this is Mike Fry, and you are listening to the We Fucking Told You So podcast. Today is January 23rd, 2025. Today's installment is titled, Say Goodbye to the Tech Bros. If you keep your Meta, X, Amazon, Google, or Apple accounts, you are supporting the destruction of democracy in the USA, and dumping them is much easier than you think. During the inauguration of the third Antichrist of Nostradamus, our Blue Sky feeds were blowing up with people complaining that their Facebook and Instagram accounts were, all of a sudden, and without them choosing to do it, following the Antichrist and some of his staff, as if we couldn't see that coming months ago. At the same time, we could see most of the big tech bros standing behind the Orange Menace as he told lie after lie in habitual fashion from the podium. They had dumped millions of dollars into his campaign and inauguration for the promise of massive tax cuts to grow their already grossly large bank accounts, as if owning more wealth than all of 50% of the population of the U.S. combined is not enough. There they stood, smug expressions on their faces, knowing that they had bought a presidency that the incoming president had tried to steal just 4 years before. That they would stoop so low as to violate their user's account by forcing them to follow the tech bro's chosen one was not at all surprising, which is why we had dumped all of our accounts with them a long time ago. Well, all but one. We'll explain why we have yet to dump that one in a bit. Now, as we're putting this blog and podcast together, Meta users are reporting that the app isn't allowing them to opt out of following these enemies of America. Meta is forcing their bullshit onto their members. Others are noting that, all of a sudden, the accounts Meta apps are, quote, suggesting they follow are all right-wing extremists, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists. Again, as predictable as it is nauseating. Of course, that was just the shit going on in Metaverse on apps like Facebook and Instagram, where the operators seem to be trying to catch up to the level of dung-flinging Elon Musk has been engaged in for more than 2 years since he bought Twitter and turned it into a sewer of lies, propaganda, and racism. The good news is that ditching Facebook, Instagram, and X is really easy. In November 2024, Blue Sky surpassed 20 million users for the first time. As of this writing, the platform's user base is already 27.44 million, largely due to people abandoning those toxic platforms. As more people do this, the platform becomes more robust and rich. On it, you can share pictures like on Instagram, or short videos like TikTok, or short text like on X. The big difference is Blue Sky puts its users in charge of deciding what content they want to see, rather than making them see content chosen by a corporate-forced algorithm. On it, you can create lists and feeds from users or subjects, decide how your content is filtered, sorted, and organized. It also lets you subscribe to feeds and lists created by others. In short, there's no reason at all to not ditch the Musk-Zuckerberg cesspools, and the only reason to stay on them is because you either like or don't mind having the information you read and watch chosen by people who publicly give the Nazi salute. And frankly, if that's how you roll, you've probably stopped listening or reading by now, and we don't really want you on the platforms we use anyway. Stepping away from the social media and looking at other technologies, Google and Apple are just as bad. As software engineers, we used to love Apple. But that was when it was good, more than 30 years ago. It's been on a downward spiral since then. It's now primarily a phone company working to hook users into a constant stream of unnecessary upgrades of software and hardware. Oh, and they were there at the inauguration, so it's pretty easy to see what they're doing with the cash they extort from their users by intentionally making systems and hardware obsolete as quickly as possible. And good luck getting a hold of them if you need help with something that they broke in your computer or on your phone. Microsoft also gave piles of cash to the Antichrist and his inauguration, and also backs Israel's apartheid Netanyahu government and its genocide in Gaza. The Windows operating system is also slow, bloated, unstable, and packed with unnecessary and often predatory add-ons that steal your information and cache. In our experience, the best computer operating system on the planet is Linux. It's open source, robust, stable, lightning fast, and requires dramatically fewer resources to run well than either Apple or Windows. It will run on virtually any computer, including even old Macs, and comes in a variety of flavors called distros that each come with their own look and feel. We use Linux Mint Cinnamon. In the olden days, Linux was not very user-friendly for non-techies. In recent years, though, that's changed a lot. It's now easier to install and operate than the big corporate platforms. It's also free and includes a pile of free software, including alternatives for all of the Office suite of products, and will open to read and write any of your Office files. An integrated software store also includes a ton of free software for image, audio, and video editing, AutoCAD, and nearly any other application you can possibly imagine. We have different levels of technical experience on our team here and have been using Linux for differing lengths of time, but universally we find it to be better than either of the primary rip-off platforms. Apple, Windows, ugh. Jeff Bezos runs Amazon as if he is serving up some James Bond villain character. He is anti-labor, anti-democracy, predatory, and in our opinion, Amazon should be avoided as much as possible. Fortunately, e-commerce has become ubiquitous enough that you can use any search engine, preferably not Google, to find sites that will sell anything you want to buy without using Amazon. Half the shit on Amazon doesn't actually ship from Amazon anymore anyway. The only technology we have yet to find a good alternative for is our mobile phones. Until a real viable mobile version of Linux becomes available, we feel stuck with choosing either Google or Apple products. For now, we're on Google, but continue keeping an eye out for viable Linux mobile operating systems. We'll be sure to let you all know if one shows up. Other than mobile phones, there are good, free, and better options than staying tethered to the tech bros who continue seeking to control more and more of our lives and who are now actively working to destroy American democracy so that they can squeeze even more cash from their users. The sooner people move to these other platforms, the easier it will be, and before anyone complains that switching is too hard or inconvenient or any such nonsense, think about all the people who gave their lives to fight off the Confederacy so that all Americans could live free. Think of those who died in World War II fighting off Hitler. Think of the civil rights champions fighting off Jim Crow and the terrorism of segregation. Think of the indigenous fighting off colonial genocide. In that context, a little inconvenience doesn't seem like too much to ask because if you don't, you're supporting Nazis and white supremacy. With that said, when you go to delete your Facebook account, be prepared for a struggle. It requires a bit of patience and determination. It seems clear to us that they make the process as hard to find and use as possible, and when you do successfully delete your account, it isn't actually deleted for 30 days. your account becomes inactive and scheduled for deletion. If you so much as log back in, it will cancel the deletion process. If your experience is like ours, Facebook will also begin flooding your email inbox with warnings trying to get you to log back in. If you fall for it, it automatically cancels the deletion of your account. We recommend adding Facebook to your spam filter as soon as you've deleted your account, so you don't need to see all of their fucking clickbait emails. If we all stop feeding these assholes, they'll lose all of their power. It's that simple. If you choose to continue feeding them, you are part of the problem, whether you want to admit it or not. You've been listening to the We Fucking Told You So podcast. Please like and share on your social media, and thanks for listening.